I look for tellable stories that are physically tellable, and from a plot point of view, that which is at least pliable.
Welcome back to the Life Plot Podcast with your host, Mario Benitez. This is Mario Benitez. If it wasn't, that might be a little weird, but it really is. This podcast is sponsored by Utz Chips. Go get you some salt and vinegar ones. It's delicious. Go nuts with Utz. I don't got too much to update you on this week, except we'll say, please go out and vote, man. We got the election coming up. I hope if you mailing it in, mail that motherfucker in ASAP. If you're going to the polls, any poll, you're going to a stripper poll, just take that vote, you know what I mean? I don't care who you voting for, just play your fucking role in the democracy, please. With that being said, this week's guest is awesome, and it's Shari Diaz. Shari Diaz is a stand-up comedian from the Bronx, New York. Got her started out in North Carolina. I met her just hitting the circuit in New York City, and she's just a fucking grinder, which I like to think I'm like that too. Super funny woman. Got an awesome fucking podcast called the Tres Betches podcast with Jessica Clayton and Trina Alper, and another two funny, hilarious, fucking naturally funny women. And yeah, man, I'm really excited to have this. This is the second one we're doing with the visual wave, and I think the fucking ball is rolling now. So thank you for returning and pressing play, whether it's on fucking YouTube or fucking iTunes. I appreciate you, yo. And with that being said, this is Shari Diaz. That feels mad corny, right? The stamper just makes it legit.
Legit, it is legit.
I'm gonna start bringing that shit everywhere I film things. Like, yo, he got the
stamp. Before you get up too, you should be like, all right,
yeah.
I'm up.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm filming my special right here. At a little ass bar with like 3 people.
That's hilarious.
Fuck, man. Yo, so how you been, yo? It's like I haven't spoken to really catching up with everybody now doing this. I haven't seen anybody like
in what, like 6 months?
Yeah, like half a year, which was like
crazy.
I was bumping into everybody like, you would just walk downtown and shit, be like, hey, oh. Yeah. And now it's like, yeah, it's so fucking sad. Like,
it is sad, man. But you know what? I think it was, not to say it's a good thing that happened, but I think everyone being on the break.
Yeah.
It's like I don't feel that bad.
Yeah.
No, we haven't been up,
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's nobody jumped ahead or like we're all just eating shit right now.
Yeah, all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of them that are up and about every night.
Yeah, but it's still not the same.
Still not the same, man.
I feel like you can't like. I've only been up a couple of times, and like I was telling you, I've been up doing like Zoom shows and shit, which is fucking horrible. Like, I feel like no matter what I'm gonna bomb, it's super hard. Like, cause
they're just watching you, right?
And then
they're on mute too, so you can't hear them.
And then it's also like whoever you could hear laughing, there's a time delay.
Oh, so you're on to like the next joke.
So yeah, but what's fucking hilarious about it is that if you think it's a funny joke, and then like it doesn't hit, so you wait after every joke. So if it hits, you give it like 2 extra seconds. Then you, but then if it's just like if it eats dick on that fucking part, you wait, and then it's just silence. Yeah. So you just got to start again. It's like
brutal. I don't know how.
It's super brutal.
I mean, not only just Zoom shows, but I think when you're starting out and doing like open mics and shit, I kind of feel like it's the same thing. I did not want to go through that trauma again.
Yeah,
doing it's Zoom shows like
after you're like years in and shit, and like
we're like masochists.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it, and I'm like, I just laugh. I'm like, yo,
that's good.
I got a bomb in my house. And then just sit by myself, which is like,
that's hilarious.
Which is like worse, I think, Yeah. But like, so it was a positive thing because I know you be on your super grind, like, right? Man. Like, kind of taking that time out. I felt like that too. I was doing things like 7 days a week and shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me take a little break.
Yeah, I mean, I think 7 days is a long time. I know I just went 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And even that was difficult for me because you're on Instagram and you're watching your peers get off and they're out every day, and like sometimes I think as entertainers or just as creatives, we look at other people doing shit and it's like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
How are they okay and I'm not?
Yeah. But I guess it's also I guess it's also like that when you are doing it. somebody else is looking at you like, how the fuck is she doing it? It's like, you know,
and sometimes I feel like that. Like sometimes I feel like I have to humble myself on purpose for other people.
Yeah.
But one thing I realize is like, you know, if you're doing the work, show your work. And if anybody has an opinion, that's their own opinion. Yeah,
it doesn't matter ultimately.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, we have the same 365 days in a year. Yeah. Why aren't you using it up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I've tried to, like, when I realized that shows weren't, like, when this whole, like, thing collapsed and everything fucking, you know, basically when the rug got pulled from out under us, so to say, I was like on a roll. I felt like, you know, I felt like I was doing shit. I'm like, oh, people are noticing now.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like I had been doing good a couple years before that, but nobody gave a fuck.
Yeah.
And then finally, I was like getting into fast and like,
well, it was congratulations in Coke City County.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, we had to cancel it.
Yeah, that sucks. You know, I was hyped about that.
Hard.
I was like,
it was hard to because we wanted to reschedule, but then it got worse in North Carolina.
Yeah, you couldn't.
We didn't want to kill anybody.
Yeah, everybody would be dying really from laughter over there, coughing up and shit.
All them droplets and shit.
Yeah, that was fucking cool too because I've only performed in Asheville, and I was hyped to go over there. And I thought Asheville was cool, you know.
Yeah, it was dope. It's one of the best ones.
Yeah, you hear anything in the South, and you think it's gonna be like some banjo type shit playing and like,
that's one thing about the South is that they really appreciate the arts.
Yeah.
Especially stand up.
Yeah.
Which is, I feel, is an underrated art form.
Yeah, no, it is. People don't even look at it as an art form.
Yeah, they think we're just, you know, like clowns and shit. You know?
We kind of are, but we're like, etiquette, you know?
Right.
We got some
we're
class.
Professional clowns, you know?
It was like, I think even if you ask comics, though, like, do you think of this as an art form? Because I've spoken to, like, other comics, and they kind of go, no, we're telling, like, dick and fart jokes. Like, I'm like, yeah, but there's still
they're young, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they haven't really, like, experienced... Like, in the beginning, maybe it's like that.
Yeah.
But then when you start realizing that there's a difference between being funny...
Yeah.
And then being good at stand-up.
Yeah, because natural funny is natural funny.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's, like, that's cool to have. But translating that to the stage is fucking rough because you need an act.
Absolutely.
And it's like...
And you gotta be a good writer.
Yeah. Those are the things.
That took me time, man.
So many people have always told me because I feel comfortable when I'm funny as a person.
Yeah.
But you know, the stage, like I said, challenges that, and people be like, "Oh, but you're funny. You should be." Not. I'm like, no.
It's not easy.
Nah, it's not.
It's not easy, man.
And then crafting minutes, like, and then like,
and knowing, like, oh, I'm only getting 5 minutes. All right, let me condense.
Edit, the super edit process.
It's hard, man.
It's super hard.
And sweating up there and shit for 5 minutes. That's a long 5 minutes. Nobody understands that.
2 minutes up there is like,
oh my god.
Yeah.
Trying to get 4 jokes in 2 minutes.
It's ridiculous. I don't even know how they do those comedy competitions where it's like,
I hate them shit.
Do a minute of a joke. I'm like,
I hate that shit. I've done them in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Where I actually started.
Oh, you started over there?
Yeah, I started in North Carolina, in Raleigh, North Carolina. But I'm born and raised in the Bronx.
Yeah.
So which I did everything backwards.
But that's kind of cool because, like,
yeah,
you had to have had a standout personality over there somewhat. The Bronx got its own people, by the way.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
The Bronx is its own. I don't know what water you drink over there. I'm not even far.
The mold that we breathe in since kids and shit. We're strong. That's why I got antibodies from fucking COVID.
COVID what? Yeah, for real. Yeah, you can catch all that shit. Be good.
Eating the wall paint and shit. We good.
I've been eating the wall paint since the 80s. I'm good.
Exactly.
The Bronx in Florida is the craziest people ever, though, for real.
You think so? What, Tampa?
Yeah. I think all of Florida.
All of Florida.
And definitely the Bronx.
I mean, the majority of the people in the Bronx from the 80s and 90s went to like Orlando.
Yeah, that's why it's crazy.
It's
like a revolving door of crazies,
you know? Like Puerto Ricans thought that they were like shit was gonna change when they went to Florida.
And they just made their own fucking suburban wild Bronx.
It's hilarious.
Nice life.
Yeah, man.
No, but I like the Bronx though, because it's like I said, even though you got like, I don't know why there's a difference though in people, like in the outlook and shit. And I grew up. All my friends are from either Harlem. I'm born and raised in Harlem, or the Bronx. Okay. So I always have like this pocket, and I notice it even amongst my friends. I'm like, yo, we just got different outlooks on things, and I'm like, I just don't get what it is though.
It's a different. I don't know what it is. I mean, I've seen it like in Brooklyn. I've seen it in Harlem. Queens is totally different. It's a different world.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Queens is more like suburban to me.
Yeah, and kind of also like, I mean, they got different like cultures and shit over there. Right. Like the Bronx is like Latinos and you know, African Americans and like,
it's everything.
Yeah,
in the Bronx. And it's like even when you watch like movies, I'm like, oh, that's the Bronx.
Yeah.
Or like that's Harlem.
I feel like
you could tell
the Bronx is like New York City times New York City, if that makes sense.
It does.
Like,
I think the Bronx is what everyone from out of New York thinks New York is.
Yeah. No,
The
for
Bronx.
sure. Yeah. But Bronx, like in the 80s, is what everybody's idea of New York.
It's on fire and shit.
They'll go to
there's no fires out here. There's actually gentrification going on over here.
It's super. I've like had people come from like other states and like go to like Williamsburg and like, and they're like,
that's not New York.
Should I be worried around? I'm like, yo, what are you talking about?
It's just mad nice out there.
First of all, you shouldn't be worried in many places anymore.
Yeah.
Because New York is not that bad.
No, it's not that bad anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, even like now, how people are like, oh, shit is all fucked up. I remember growing up like in the 90s, like it was way worse than
How
now.
old are you?
I'm 33.
Oh, me too.
Oh,
you're 87
nice.
now?
86.
Okay,
October, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, your birthday's coming up.
Yeah, the 20th.
Nice,
I'm
nice.
a Libra, yo.
All right, yo.
that balance.
Libra's good, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so, shit, what the fuck was I saying?
Oh, we were talking about me starting out in North Carolina.
Yes. So that's kind of crazy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
was that a challenge? Because I feel like you had to you earned your stripes in
I had to.
a different environment. Like,
Totally. I mean, first of all, I moved out there a year after a horrible breakup. My family's out there. My mom, my sisters, their families.
so everybody you're close with.
Everybody was out there for like 10 years before I went out there.
Ah.
So, I would go out there for birthdays and shit and holidays until I was like, you know what? It's time for a new change. I'm done with New York. I went out there. For a year I worked doing just regular jobs, 9 to 5s, and I was like, yo, this shit is boring.
Yeah.
Like, you should go out there when you're retired or you're going to start a family
when you're real
or some
settled
shit.
down
yeah,
shit.
And I was,
yeah.
like,
Now when you got dreams.
No, and honestly, I mean, I had like far-fetched dreams. Like, I always knew I wanted to be an entertainer. I knew I always wanted to be an actress. Some kind of
performer, right?
Some kind of performer. And it was just
we're not
too,
sponsored by Lysol.
I know, right? It was just like too far-fetched for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't realistic
It seemed
as
out
per
of
my family.
like, out of reach, right?
Like as per my family, it was like, no, you're going to college. You're not gonna go to fucking some theater school.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do any of that. So it was like, all right, maybe that's not realistic. I'll just be funny with my friends and family, and that's it.
Yeah.
But then I was on Facebook, and then I saw this ad for Good Nights Comedy Club, which was my home club.
Oh, nice.
In North Carolina.
So you started out in a comedy club.
I did.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's interesting. They have like, one of those classes.
Yeah.
Right? They have one of those classes. I was like, all right, let me put that in the back burner, and I might do it one day. And then a family friend had he bought a huge ass restaurant in Raleigh, North Carolina, and he had this open mic, and these local comics were there. And his waiters and his waitresses, they called out. So my sister and I, we were just serving, bussing, everything, right? The last person to go up was like, all right, well, if there's anybody else.
And you just, while you were working?
Yeah, I'm here bussing in heels
just talking
because
shit
I was
about
just going to go watch the show, yeah. And then they were like, if anybody wants to come and do comedy, you want to try it? And then my family turns around. They were like, this is your chance to prove yourself to us.
Do it.
Yo, I went up there like nothing. Did 5 minutes, talk shit about, I don't even remember. I mean, there's a video out there of me doing.
Wow, you got a video from the first time?
From the first time. My niece recorded it, talking about ridiculousness, right? And then from there, that was my first time being up there. I don't know how I did, but as per like everybody, they were like, yo, if this is your first time, that was great. You're just like natural.
You got laughs.
Yeah. So you get that high.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that high
this is it. I was like, this is what I want to do. And then maybe like 2 weeks later, the host of that open mic was like, yo, Joey Medina from the Latin Kings of Comedy is coming in like 2 weeks. We want you to open for him.
Wow. So you got thrown into the fire.
Yo, from the beginning. So the second time I did it was opening for Joey Medina.
How was like? Did you have the idea of what minutes were? Like
no.
The real chisel of it all?
I didn't even know what the light was. I was getting the light.
Like,
and I'm like, why is that? And I was like, who's taking pictures up here? Like, whatever. I thought somebody was taking a picture.
Oh, shit.
But I was going over my time. I must have done like 20 minutes of talking mierda. Like, I didn't do.
Wow.
To me, it was horrible. But when I got off, Joey Medina, one of the original Latin Kings of Comedy, was like, this is your first time doing it? And I was like, nah, it's my second time. He was like, same shit.
Wow.
And he was like, you got something in you. You have this star quality. And I'm not just telling you that because, it's, whatever. And I was like, oh, well, thank you. I still didn't think anything of it. We kept in touch. I started to do the classes.
Yeah.
And then
so that's when you learn.
That's when I learned the structure.
That's cool.
Of stand up. The instructor was horrible, but he wanted me to do like George Lopez shit.
Really?
Yo, like literally stealing.
Just practicing another person's joke.
Right. He's like, I think you should try this, whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm whatever. So what he told me to write, I did totally different at the showcase. That shit was packed with many people. That's
comedy shit though, right there.
Yo,
when they tell you, hey, don't do this, do this. I'm gonna go.
And I went off.
Go shit on this guy.
Man, for real. And he couldn't say anything because it was good. It was. I mean, I look at it now, I'm like, that was trash. But at that moment,
yeah.
You know, I had all the cool ass local comics coming up, like, yo, that was good. Who are you? Here's my Facebook. You know, if you were around. Then I started working in like the black circuit.
Yeah.
Or what do they call it?
Like urban.
Like, yeah.
Urban rooms and shit.
So that's where I learned how to host.
Yeah, which you could and like urban rooms, you got you gotta talk to the crowd.
You have to,
because they'll be funnier than you if you're not.
Absolutely, and you can't let them talk because they'll talk all night. Yeah,
and they'll fucking destroy you with some heckles.
But they showed me so much love, and then when I tried going back to the comedy club, they would like shit on me because it was like, apparently I was like too. These were the words: too deaf comedy jam.
Oh,
too
urban.
Hip hop.
Yeah.
This is not a hip hop show. And it's not like I was like, MF this, MF that, da da da. Like, I wasn't going crazy. I was just being me. Like, I'm from New York.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be wearing Tim's up here and you're going to be wearing New Balances. Like, like, you know.
I guess, you know what that is, though? I guess it's got to be even. I look at the environment in New York City sometimes. Mm-hmm. And even being a person like yourself or myself, which I'm weird. Like, I am from Harlem and shit. And I do got this. You know, I grew up in the projects and the hood and shit. Like that's just who I am. Mm-hmm. But I'm like into like super duper nerdy science shit. Yeah. And I know what I'm talking about when I speak about fucking, you know, astrophysics or quantum mechanics.
So you know your demographics.
Yeah, but it's also weird because people look at me, they'll hear me in like a urban room, and I'll be talking about some nerdy shit, and then I always like. When I go to more like old rooms, I'll just talk more the hood stories and shit. You
gotta know your room.
Yeah,
you gotta read the room once you get there. And I had to learn that the hard way. You know, I had to bomb over and over in like the wrong rooms. Yeah. And until finally I met Matt White, who's the co-producer of Oak City Comedy Festival. Sick. I would say he was my mentor, and like he saw me on stage. He was like, "All right, come here, let's write, and I'm gonna teach you how to write." I'm going to teach you how to structure your jokes. Yeah. I'm going to teach you how to read a room. I'm going to teach you how to produce shows. I'm going to teach you how to do this and know the business. Man, I like it's he hates when I say like I owe him so much, but a part of my growth was him.
He helped, yeah.
Oh, big time. Yeah. He saw something in me that I struggle with sometimes. I'm like, man, I know I'm funny, but I'm not as funny as this person or as funny as that person. Am I really going to get a Netflix special? Yeah. Am I really going to get, am I... so you start to question yourself, and I think as a performer, I think we're our worst critics. Always. And our worst enemy.
And in this game, you're being critiqued every couple seconds, you know? Oh, yeah. So you really are like, you gotta be like pensive of that. Yeah. Almost. And it's a little like heavy on the way is heavy sometimes. Because you're like, all right, I'm doing good. Oh, am I doing good? Oh, that sucked. And it's like the edit is going on. Yeah. And then you're feeling the room.
You're writing on stage.
Yeah. And then if there's one person in the crowd that doesn't like your shit, you're like, what the fuck?
Right. It could be everybody laughing, that one person with their arms crossed. And I'm like, I suck.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it sucks, man. And it's hard. But and then we get off and then we go do it again. Yeah. Which is weird.
Even if you bomb. Crazy. The worst I've ever done, like, not to sound cocky, but I don't bomb often. Like,
that's good.
Yeah, which is like.
And that's possible.
I'm hard on myself too, but I know. I hold myself to a weird like standard with comedy. Uh-huh. If my target in a room is to make at least 80% of people laugh. Mm-hmm. If I can't get if it's 100 people and I got 80 laughing, the other 20 just ain't my audience. Yeah. It's like I want 100%. Yeah. But sometimes you're not gonna get 100%. Right. So I'm like,
as long as you're honest with yourself too.
Yeah. And I'm like, if I'm doing less than 80%, I'm fucking sucking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like some people could go in a room and like. not get like three people laughing only, and they're like, "Oh, I'm doing all right," and I'm like, "Are you fucking delusional?"
Yeah.
And
I've seen that up close and personal. I see people, I'm like, they hear one or two laughs and like I crushed. I'm like, nah,
crushed.
Dude. See, like, I go up there knowing when people are gonna clap.
Yeah.
When people are gonna laugh. So now, like, I learned how to pace myself.
Yeah, you also gotta sit in sit in the pocket like a quarterback term. You know, kind of.
Yeah.
Wait.
If I show you a video from like a few years ago to now, because I've been doing it for 6 years now.
Yeah.
So now when I do it, it's like I'm up there and it's like I'm like a smooth criminal because and like you, like, not to say I don't bomb, like we're the ones who judge who bomb if we bomb or not, right? But I know when I bomb.
Yeah,
I'm very aware of
Me
myself.
Too. I'm like, oh, that's
I'm very aware. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like I think one of my standards is I don't just make people who look like me or sound like me laugh. I need to make everybody of every demographic. You got to hit the different
individuals. Yeah. That's important. Yeah, to grow in this.
It's important to me to have crossover appeal.
Yeah, me too. That's why like I said, I kind of
you're hood and you're nerdy.
Yeah.
It's good.
So that's why I'm like, all right, that's why I do what I do with my comedy, because I'm like, if I could go to an urban room and make them laugh at some of my smarter shit, it's actually funny.
Right.
And if I could go to an alternative room and make them laugh about me seeing this dude get beat up at a bodega once and yelling out for citizens help, like, if I could make them laugh at that, then I'm like getting my real audience. Now, if I put them all in a room, I could talk about whatever the fuck I want.
Right.
And that's my outlook to it.
Yeah.
It's so weird though, because like I met a lot of people that got to do classes and shit. I never did any of that.
Yeah.
And like
you don't got to, trust.
And I was just like,
they're all on YouTube. You're good.
Yeah, which is like, I watched a lot of like, you know who helped me a lot? Patrice O'Neal. Like how he attacked the audience, and he showed
crowd work.
Yeah, his crowd work, which I don't do though, which is crazy.
I love crowd work.
Only when I host, I like fucking with people. But it gets me more nervous to bomb with crowd work. Because, like, I fall back to trusting. Well,
how are you in, like, regular situations with not comedy? Like, look, we're having a regular conversation right now, and you're not bombing, right?
No.
So it's like, I think it's kind of the same thing. It's just being comfortable.
It's more being yourself.
And the good thing about you is that you know nerdy shit and you know, like, hood shit. So it's like, you could use both. With me, my demographic, not nerds.
Yeah.
Because I get, like... I don't know what it is. Like anime shit. I'm like, only thing I know is like Dragon Ball Z and shit, Trunks and that motherfucker, whatever. But that's it. I remember I bombed hard in front of like a bunch of nerds.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, this is crazy. I've been cool and popular all my life, and now I'm bombing in front of y'all motherfuckers. Like,
stuff up in a fucking locker afterwards.
I'm like, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Like, shit.
I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Start robbing them. Like,
I know you got Jordans on,
yo,
right?
What size are you? Oh, that's my size.
I'm gonna sell them shits on eBay. But yeah, man, it's crazy because like I know my demographic. It's so important to be aware.
Yeah, a lot. Awareness, I think a lot of people lack that. It's like common sense. A lot of people just lack that across the board. Like you got to be self-aware sometimes.
Yeah.
Not so much self-conscious, but self-aware. Yeah. Like knowing, like, just some people don't even know when they're like in your way. Like walking in the street, like yo, my man. Like,
yeah, it's the same shit, man.
Yeah,
you have to be self-aware, and you have to be honest. You just got to be honest with yourself.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like that honesty, though.
I mean, if I tell you, yo, good set, I mean it. If I don't say shit to you, that means you do not have a good set. You know, even when, like, Jared Waters, who's beast, I've never seen Jared bomb.
No.
Ever.
Nah, he's always done well.
I've seen done well.
Even in, like, a shitty-ass room.
Yeah,
he's
so
really
confident, right?
Yeah.
And I've learned a lot from him as well. And, like, he would always say, like, if I had a bad set, he'll say it straight up. He'll be like, oh, when you did this, you should have done this. And it's important to have that kind of like,
camaraderie almost.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of leads into...
Yeah, kind of what I was going to ask you. Camaraderie, because this game is like, I say always that I'm in the elementary school of it. I'm going on my 6th year, and I don't even count this year because I'm like 5 years in.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, it depends on the work that you do too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I've been doing it for 6 years, and I think I've done stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it just depends.
Yeah, but you gotta imagine, like, how I look at it is like, we've done that, but imagine like 15 in. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If you've seen the doors open so far.
Right.
Imagine the doors that are gonna. You don't even know the doors that are gonna open.
Even with this break right now, I look at it and say, shit, I never imagined being where I'm at.
Yeah.
When I started.
Yeah, me
either. It was so far-fetched.
It was kind of like, even going into certain clubs I've gotten to perform at.
Right, where have you performed?
Stand Up New York, Dangerfield. I've touched like almost every club except New York Comedy Club.
Okay.
The Cellar.
Have you done Gotham?
No, I haven't done Gotham yet.
Have you done Caroline's?
No, and Caroline's also. It was huge.
I did Caroline's. My last show of 2019 was at Caroline's.
Yeah.
Opening for Mark Vieira.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Mark is fucking hilarious. That's a good show right there.
It was so good. We had so much fun.
And that's a good pairing, you know?
It was, and also I didn't know that you had to go through a process. Mm-hmm. Like you audition, he hosts, and then you feature. But I went straight into featuring for him.
Yeah.
Do 20, 30 minutes or whatever, how much time I did. But it's like, I love working at comedy clubs because you get paid for it. But there's something about the independence of comics producing their own shows. Yeah. And it just means a lot more when you do it in your like peers.
Yeah.
Shows.
And building something.
And it's like there's no what do you call it?
There's no gatekeepers.
Politics. Yeah, there's no politics in that shit. And look what's happening now.
Yeah.
Look how great.
And now you need to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like look like. There's only one show. Stand Up is doing some shit.
Yeah, out in the park.
Fucking, and they're charging people. Yeah. How do you charge people at the park?
Yeah. What if I just stood over there? Do I have to pay?
They're still dropping checks when the headliner's up. That's hilarious to me. But what other club is still open? The Stand.
That's so goofy. Yeah.
The Stand is like
they
that's
do
the only club.
Stuff. Yeah.
Now New York Comedy Club. So that's 3.
Yeah.
Compared to what everybody else is doing.
All the independent shows.
And when you look at it, it's mostly people in our class.
Yeah.
And I think that's so dope. Like, not to, like, knock anybody, like, who's above us on Netflix, Comedy Central now, but something about our class.
It's that DIY.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of that DIY generation. Yeah. Even with shit like what I'm doing here.
And we put each other on.
Yeah. And it's like, it really is a DIY generation. I get that idea from, like, so I used to be in a band a long time ago.
Oh, shit, a rock band?
A metal band, yeah.
Oh, shit, you like Deftones?
Deftones is my shit.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm going to Spain to see them.
For real?
I
know you
July.
Like that.
I don't. I get scared listening to them, but the dude that I'm seeing, he loves the Deftones.
Yeah, Deftones is awesome.
He's been to I don't know how many concerts, but I'm going to take him to Spain to watch.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, he loves them.
Yeah, that's
and
fucking
he loves
sick.
Spain, so
and they put on a good show, by the way.
I can't wait. Well, I'm kind of nervous because the part that they go, like I'm trying to learn the songs before July.
Yeah.
I think I can.
Listen to...
like the new album is
album is really good. It's a little more raw stuff, as you would say.
Yeah, like Genesis.
Yeah, but check out like Diamond Eyes with like they got like Beauty School.
Oh, that's the one I love. I love that song.
That's a great song. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real smooth and shit.
He knows those are the songs, but when's the song that goes he goes, all right, let me forward this one.
So I come from the world.
Yeah.
Like,
so that's what you would do.
Yeah, I used to be all about the rah devil shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So like that, but that world kind of when you're starting up is very DIY.
Yeah.
You put on your own shows. You help one another out. You book each other in the road and shit. It's
so you would go on the road too?
Yeah,
That's dope.
Yeah, I got to.
Would you open up for other bands?
Yeah, I opened up for a few bands, and then like, I mean, you're not gonna know them, but like,
probably not.
Yeah,
but you could just share it. Like, maybe somebody else that's listening.
Like Winds of Plague. I fucking got to play for Veil of Maya. These are like good like heavy bands. And
I'm
shit.
pretty sure the dude would know because he loves.
This is like
metal.
the real heavy side. Oh, so he's into metal.
He's into all that shit. I mean, he's from the Bronx, Puerto Rican dude. He listens to everything.
Oh, he's probably a fan of my band.
I'm like, yo, do you know what was the name of your band?
Fatality. Yeah, no, it's like it's real old school. Yeah, we had
We're
like
killers.
Yeah, we used to have our album was called New York State of Mind and shit.
Oh, nice. Also, y'all were all from New York.
Yeah.
From Harlem.
Two of us from Harlem, one from Brooklyn, and one from Staten Island.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I would expect Staten Island.
Yeah, definitely for the rah shit.
When you said band, I was like, oh, he was a rapper.
Yeah, I was a...
Were you a singer?
I was the singer.
What? That's so dope.
Yeah, so that got me prepared kind of for the DIY shit.
Yeah.
So when I transitioned to it, I saw that, like, I was like, oh, this is kind of the same thing, but it's even easier because it's one-on-one.
Yes.
You don't got to deal with
a
group of personalities. Like, that was always rough to me.
We kind of have something in common. Not like bands or singing anything, but I used to preach.
Oh, really?
I mean, we're the same, but not really.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you do devil shit, I do God shit. I'm gonna have
the
whatever.
spectrum. It's cool.
But we got shit in common.
Yeah, we'll hang out. We'll meet in the middle.
I'm like, yeah. No, but I used to preach from like 14 to 18 years old.
Wow. So you got in front of an audience like.
Yeah, and I will only do it because people will laugh. Like, I knew my Bible, and I knew, I would tell stories. My biggest thing with the church was I didn't like the rules, and I didn't like being controlled. I didn't like wearing skirts with Timbs.
The long ass skirts, the shit you step on.
Yo, and no earrings. You know what I mean? But what I loved was parables and things that like had to do with real life, and I would make it into like real life. I never talked about, well, this is what Jesus did and this is what God did. It was more like, have you ever felt this way? Yeah. And if you ever felt this, 14-year-old telling grown-ass people.
And they're like, amen.
Yeah, she's anointed, So, like, I would always find a way to use humor. Yeah. Because not for nothing, humor heals.
Yeah, and it also cuts deep.
Cuts deep.
Yeah.
We get to say the truth.
Yeah.
In a very gentle but funny way.
Yeah, if you can make somebody laugh, you get in their mind.
And it's in their pants.
Yeah. Mainly the mind of the pants is what I'm aiming for.
Right. You will, trust me. When we start going on tour, comics get laid so much. I've seen it all the time.
Yeah, I see it. People like to talk to you. After you talk, like...
After you make them laugh.
Yeah.
Once you make somebody laugh, you can make them do anything. When I make dudes laugh, I make them make their belly jiggle and shit like that. They're like, oh, okay. Whatever I want, whatever I say, they're like, oh, shit, she's really funny.
Yeah,
like,
she's
dope. She's not cool. She's dope.
Yeah, it opens people up.
It opens. But I tell you what, like, dating as a comic is really hard.
Dating is... it's crazy. That was... I got such a funny story. Like, I got... the last girl I was messing with, was a while back now, but she just got mad at my jokes. Like, I would just say, like, funny shit, and she would be like, that's corny. And I'm like, corny? I'm like, you're fucking corny. That was really the last argument. It was like, you're fucking corny. Like, what the fuck you mean?
See, but that's the thing. Like, I think a lot, because we're in such a cancel culture time. People are just very sensitive.
Yeah, and I think it's also that we already don't edit ourselves, sort of. You know what I mean? A lot of people aren't ready for that shit. I'll be at, I still got a day job, so I'll be at work, and I'll just say some crazy shit. Right. And they'll look at you, and they'll find it funny, but they're like, did you just say that?
Yeah, there's this weird shit in a comedian's mind.
Yeah.
The way we think, the way we view things, we find humor in everything. Yeah. And I think that's dope. Yeah. I could be at a funeral and I'll say, I'm like, oh shit. Yo,
you know what I'm saying? I made that's fucked up. It's funny you said that. That's probably the craziest thing I ever got to do. I made a whole funeral laugh, yo.
What?
And I was really at a funeral.
You did the what do you call it?
No, I didn't do the eulogy or nothing.
You did comedy at the fucking
funeral?
Wow, you're going to hell for real. Not just for the metal band, but for making jokes at a funeral.
No, I remember I just made some, like, it wasn't even a joke, but it was me being silly.
It was about the dead person?
No. It was about somebody. So I hadn't seen, like, a nephew in years. Uh-huh. And, like, a friend's nephew in years since he was, like, a kid. Mm-hmm. But he had a younger brother. Mm-hmm. And they looked exactly alike. So I tell my friend whose grandfather was like his pops who passed away. Yeah. I was telling him in his ear, I'm like, yo, your nephew never grew up, bro. Like, cause it was his little brother. I was like, yo, what happened? Is he like a dwarf or something? And like,
he looked like, exactly alike.
And he's looking at me. He's like, and he just started dying. He found that shit mad funny. Yeah. Because I was in that moment. I kind of really thought that. But that was his. And then I see his actual nephew that I knew years ago, who grew up, comes in. I'm like, oh, that's retarded. Yeah.
See, and it's at the most awkward moments that we make these jokes. But also, I think good timing is very important as a comic as well.
You gotta know when to sit back too.
Let me tell you, I dated dudes. I must have been on 3 dates with Kevin Hart. Yeah. Dudes that try to impersonate him.
Oh, just doing his...
Yo, the entire fucking dinner. They're like, all right. I'm like, all right. I don't even think that motherfucker's funny.
I gotta imagine that because you're a comic that guys they're gonna try to be extra funny, right?
They try to challenge me. And I'm like, dude, I'm looking for love. I'm not looking to perform for a dude. I want to be a wife and I want to be a mom. Like... I'm not trying to perform for you.
You know what's funny? I got the opposite. Like, I told a girl not too long ago, I felt like she was just hitting me up, like, when she wanted to be, like, entertained. Right. And I'm like, yo, you realize I get paid to do this, right? Right. I was like, I'm not doing this for you. And I just goofed her. And, and it was like, it was fucked up. I felt like it was a cocky line, but it felt good to say it. Like, it's true.
Because it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, we're comics, but we're still human beings. Yeah. Comics are probably the most sensitive.
Yeah.
But we have a way of what?
Coping
with humor. So people, I think, they think, they're a comedian. They could take this disrespect.
Yeah.
That they think is a joke.
Yeah.
I've had issues, like, even with this dude right now, where he was like, oh, I thought you were a comedian. I'm like, I am.
That's not a joke, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm like, I am. You're not. Like, you don't know anything about timing. And if this was a comedy show, I'd be giving you the fucking light. Like, this is... Get the fuck off the stage.
Hit the red switch.
You suck. And, it's just like... And I told him, I was like, before a comic, I'm a woman. You have to respect me. You can't be saying the shit that you're saying. Are you crazy? Like,
it's kind of, it's true. It's kind of rough, like you said, though, dating as a comic. And, like, I think just dating in today's culture in general. So it's like...
everything on social media is so fake and
it's
shit.
It's all, like, hypertension, I guess. Like, It's like, I get weary, like, even if I think a female comic is cool, I'm like, I'm not going to say shit. Like, And it's like...
A lot of female comics are like, oh, man, he's trying to talk to me. Like,
yeah. And it's like... And then that makes me be a dickhead.
Yeah, because you're not trying to, like,
I'm not, and then now I'm like, man, fuck out of here.
Yeah. That sucks, man. I mean, it's okay to be friends. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to be cool and fucking riff and shit.
Be people.
Be friends. Be peers. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. It's hard.
There's a fucking fly, right?
I'm like fucking tense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you see it. That dude is just like a camera whore. Like,
man.
That fly just wants to be on everything.
And he landed right in the perfect moment. And everyone was like, oh, we're immature as shit. This world is immature.
It's crazy how that became... Nobody remembers anything they spoke about, really.
Nothing. Just a fucking fly. That is horrible.
And if you think about it, if it would have landed on Kamala, that would have been a whole different thing,
I don't think people would make a big deal about it.
Yeah, but it was because Pence is such in the administration. Yeah, it was so fucking funny. Yeah, that is the fly. Yeah, I'm gonna have to kill that motherfucker.
I don't know, man, but it is hard, man. Yeah. Comedy is hard, period. I don't know if you performed, if you've opened for, like, Instagram comedians.
Oh, no,
man,
actually,
the worst,
I didn't open for them, but I did perform with somebody at Broadway Comedy Club.
Isn't it crazy to see?
And I hate it.
It's annoying, isn't it? Because people come to see them because of the following.
Yeah, and then they're not that good.
Yeah.
And then they think that's what comedy is.
Yeah, man, and then they disrespect the real art
form. And I'm just there like, ugh.
I won't say who I opened for a few times in North Carolina. We can't off the record.
Yeah.
But there was this chick. She's on a popular show.
And she probably just ate it, right?
Bro, like I opened it. It was like a cold entrance, like a cold intro. Yeah. No name. No song. So I'm just walking up there.
Just walk up. Hello.
In a college, so these are young folks. So I was like, fuck it. I went in. I don't remember what jokes I used, but I know I did well. I did 20 minutes. I got off. They were waiting for the girl to go on. Yeah. And she would not go on because she wanted someone else to go after me. Oh. Because she was like, I'm not following her. She's a real comedian. She was like, she's a real comedian. I'm like.
And what the fuck are you? Why are you doing comedy?
It is you. Yeah. Whatever you say, they're going to laugh. Yeah. It was a sold out show. I went to watch her in the front row. I wanted to see what she was going to talk about. She was up there. She headlined her sold out show. She goes up there and she goes, I'm so nervous, y'all. I've only been doing comedy for 3 months and I sold this show out. And I'm like, I've been doing this for 5 years.
And that shit is it's frustrating when you see that because it's like I said, it's a disrespect to the art form.
Yeah, man.
And it's also like, I get it because this thing is like, it sucks that's the culture of entertainment. Like, you gotta fill seats, Yeah. That's what we pay attention to, especially
quantity
now.
Over quality now.
Yeah, exactly. And everything almost.
I think about Chappelle and Robin Williams. I think about the Wayans brothers. Yeah. I think about what they did in the past without social media.
Yeah. And
how big they are.
How do you... How?
What are we doing
But
wrong?
you know what it means? You know what that means? Is that they were really good in the room.
Yeah.
And that's where it does count, Because you see... I guarantee those people that went to go see the person you opened for, they're not gonna come back
No.
see her.
I mean, they looked for me after. They took pictures with me. They took my Instagram. I listened to her. Like, she had a lot of, like, premises, undone jokes.
Yeah, but just not the chisel. Yeah.
Yo, I wrote out all her jokes. I wrote 4 jokes for her. And I went after the show. I was talking to her, and I was like, look, I wrote 4 jokes for you. This is one joke. You should do it like this. And I lied, and I told her, I was like, I write for comics.
Yeah.
You know, I get paid for writing for comics. I was trying to hustle her.
Yeah.
So I was like, she was like, oh, I didn't think about doing it like that. Oh, that's a good, what's that called? A punchline? And I'm like, yeah, it was just horrible.
That's
and I'm
terrible,
like,
yeah.
So she was like, let me hear the other 3. And I was like, I'll give you my email and I'll send you my rates.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? I'm not going to give you 4 free jokes.
That's like 2-3 minutes.
But she was like, oh, how much? And I was like, oh, I charge, usually I charge $150 a joke.
2,000 a joke. But
for you, I'll do it for 75,
yeah.
you know?
It's like one quick one-liner.
She's like, oh, that's not bad. I'm like, damn, I should have kept it at $250. No, but then, she ended up emailing me. I gave her the joke. She paid me, which was dope.
Yeah.
So
at least she,
Yeah, she respected it. Yeah. She was like, you're really good and you're a great writer, whatever. And then I was like, yo, how about, I'll continue to write for you.
Yeah.
If you let me open for you every time you come out to North Carolina.
That's a good deal.
New York. So she was supposed to be out here for the summer, but fucking Corona. Yeah.
It's crazy though that's like that people just think they can make that jump, It's like and so I guess you need that craziness sometimes though.
That's brave. I wouldn't. But the thing is, like, there's no longevity there. Like, there's no, like, it's gonna fail.
That well dries out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
fast.
we had to bomb night after night.
Yeah.
We know what the grind is. We know what the hustle is. We know how the hard work and what it really means. You know? It's just it bothers, man. But you know what? I think as a class, our class or whatever, I've seen people like Julio and them. Julio's lapping mad people right now.
He's funny.
Yeah. He's nice.
Yeah.
And he got mad shows.
Julio Diaz,
Shout out to him. That's my brother.
Yeah, I fucks with him too.
And I told him, I was like, look, man, I really want to get, like, I'm watching. And I'm observing everything. And we got stand-up, right?
Yeah.
Dope. We're great, right? We could open up for IG comedians and fucking leave no meat on the bone for them, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But can we Instagram?
No.
Right.
Yeah.
So then that's the issue.
Yeah.
When we can start Instagramming,
that's when we could talk.
That's when we could talk, and that's when we pop off.
But I feel like this is the thing with me with that, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you ever seen like any of the sketches myself and like Unusual Culprits put together.
Oh yeah, those are good.
But that's the thing is that we take our time.
There's no consistency too.
But everything you see is like we shot with 4 or 5 cameras. We try to really act. It's not no.
Yeah.
So, but to me it's
I'm watching
quality over quantity, right?
Yes.
So I see all the IG individuals that do like funny little skits and stuff, and like I realize that I got to start doing more of that too.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna still top you because I want a feature film.
Right.
I want to get trusted with a sitcom.
Right.
I want to show that I could put together different. Oh, this looks stylistically nice. Yeah. This is action comedy. The
cinematic part of it.
Yeah, that's
the quality.
The quality.
So I look at it as like I'm looking. Yo, look, I look at everything. I've watched your stuff. I've watched who are the guys that you
Lee Valentine.
Yes, I watch Stewie.
Yeah.
I watch
Jerron Young.
I watch everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. I watch everybody. I watch the timing, the times you guys post.
Yeah.
I watch. Listen. There's logistics to everything.
Yeah, for sure.
And when it comes, like, anybody can tell you that knows me personally, knows I'm about the business as well. It's not just about performing. You have to be good with the business. So I look at it, and I look at our class, and I'm like, man, we're way better than the ones that are coming up and the ones that are out right now.
Yeah.
Right? So I look at it, and I was talking to Jared Waters. I'm like, this is my plan. I would really want to get a good team of 10 to 12 people in our class and write once a week.
Yeah.
Quality. I see so many people putting out trash shit.
Yeah.
Just to get likes.
Just to get likes. And
it's whack.
Yeah. And it doesn't, like, it may get a couple likes, but it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything.
There's no quality. And, like, I watch what people, like, you have cameras. That's legit.
Yeah.
I watch people like, oh, they're using a fucking LG. Why?
Yeah.
You know, like
using
these are
Old Spice deodorant to film.
Right. Or like, or I seem like, yo, this is not original. I've seen someone do this and they did it better. Or like, you know, I'm watching everything, and I'm watching people's mistakes so I don't do it. Yeah.
That's how you grow though. You gotta pay attention to your peer group, you know?
Absolutely. And my thing is like, I'm very big at putting people on.
Yeah.
Like for example, Tres Betches podcast, my podcast. I created that. I came to New York looking for 2 female comics, funny female comics who hustle. Yeah. Just as me, who were funny, just as me, who wanted it, just as me. And I found them with Trina, Alper, and I found them with Jessica Clayton. Funny ass chicks. Yeah. Our vibe is crazy. I headlined Good Night's Comedy Club in the fall of 2019. Who did I have open for me? Jessica Clayton. Yeah. Who did I ask host? Trina, Alper. Why? Because what I want with the Tres Betches podcast is to teach them how to go on the road, because I've been on the road.
Yeah, and you can do it all together.
Do it all together.
And I spoke to, I think my second to last show or last show, right before, like maybe 2 days before everything got shut down that weekend. Well, Trina was on it, and I was telling her, I was like, yo, that's what's funny about you girls. Y'all all naturally funny. Yeah. And I was like, that just wins. Like y'all could do the stage shit, but y'all got chemistry. So it's like, I was gonna ask you about that, right? Yeah. Because like I said before, this game is very this game is lonely.
It's lonely.
So yeah, but like I was lucky to find like individuals like Stewie who has like an acting ability, Jerron who's went to acting school. Yeah. Like that we have these similar interests to push forward, Lee and shit, that we like quality, like I kind of found individuals that I vibe with. Don't get me wrong, we argue too about
and that's important though.
Yeah, you gotta get challenged to that. But like having that felt like in moments where I'm looking at the bullshit from behind the veil, like, oh, look at this corny fucking Instagram comic, or like moments like these, I was able to share that with them. But I feel like it's even lonelier for women in the comedy scene.
Yeah, because there's a stigma that we're not funny. And there's a stigma that you know, you gotta be attractive to get on. You know what I mean? Or like you know, but you know, I used to think like that all the time. I used to be scared. I used to be like, shit, like, you know, I'm a chick, so I have to work harder. Yeah. And, you know, if I already have, you know, some credentials. So it's like, if I'm able to put Trina and Jessica on.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
There's room for everybody to eat, but they bring something to the table. Yeah. They don't just eat off of what I'm. Nah. You know what I'm saying?
Help
That's
you.
What I love.
Yeah.
And that comes to like, you know, with you, Stewie, Lee, everybody. It's like everybody brings something different. Like I've been in acting classes for years now, right? So it's like my thing is I really want a crew where everybody brings something. The writers, the filming, the fucking you know, just the business aspect of it.
The things you really need.
The things that you really need and that are very important. This is a business.
Yeah.
Funny
is money too.
Yeah. Look at Adam Sandler. All his movies, he put all his boys
His team always for years to this day.
Producing and directing, screenwriting a series. You put Stewie on. Yeah. You put Lee on. You put me on. You give me a role. You know what I'm saying? That shit is love.
And that's the way you should do it. And
that's like you said, DIY.
Yeah. And it's also like, some people have different outlooks on it, and some people get kind of cynical, I think. Yeah. It's me. Mm-hmm. But when you do, it's like one hand washes the other, right? Mm-hmm. And both hands wash the face. Like, that shit is true. Like, if you look out for others, that's when shit you don't even realize comes back to you.
Absolutely.
Like, this guy they told me about you. I'm like, for real? I didn't even think that was like a connection. Yeah. And
it's important to have that, man. Like, I'll look out. You know what I'm saying? Like, when, for example, like watching your video and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm not the only one that's watching the videos. Yeah. I'm watching the finals. I don't watch the beginning. You know how many submissions we got? Yeah. I'm not watching the beginning. Yeah. But I did put names in where I'm like, you need to watch this person. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just like, why not put people on?
Yeah.
Why not? A dude from Harlem, metal band singer, hood dude, nerd dude, podcaster, comedian. You go out to the South, they're gonna love you.
Yeah, I felt that. Like I said in Asheville, I was like, oh, they really fuck with me out here.
With you. Raleigh, yo, if you Oak City County, we were only on our third year. People were looking at that shit like it was, you know, so diverse. Yeah. You look at Asheville. I mean, nothing against Asheville. I never got in, but it's like I never got in. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like I've looked at the lineups and I'm like, word.
Yeah.
We rejected this person. We
Yeah,
rejected
here,
that person.
so like what?
He's here, alright. So that's what y'all looking. You know what I'm saying? But like Astro's dope because of the people watching.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people that can give you opportunities in LA.
How was that like? Because I know the stresses of putting on a regular show. You know.
Oh my god.
Like, and it's especially if you're on it, it's like you're always kind of like just running around and like you don't even get time to think about your jokes. How was that putting together a festival though?
It was haunting, and it was traumatizing, especially the first year because I mean, look, Matt White and I always wanted. Matt White was the one with the dream.
Mm-hmm.
I came in, I was like, let's execute it, and it took us a year to plan it. We did not expect the turnout that we got.
Yeah.
Although there were a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
No one knew.
Yeah, you were able to work by it.
Me and him.
Yeah.
The background shit, the behind the scenes shit.
You're going chaotic, but
chaotic. We were yelling at you. I was like, "Yo, fuck you." He was like, "Fuck you." I'm like, "Alright." You know, like we were down each other's throats. It was hard. It was hard, and you know, imagine 2 people producing and hosting shows.
Yeah, no, that's stressful.
We would have 4 to 6 shows a night.
Holy shit! Yeah.
All of them packed out.
And that's
all
so much, but that's just so much stress. Like it's hurting me right now.
And you know, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, y'all made a lot of money." Nah, we put in. We don't have any sponsors. Going on our 3rd year, no sponsors.
All DIY. You don't owe nobody nothing.
We don't owe nobody nothing. We don't gotta put big corporations up. You know what I'm saying? I made friends with HBO Latino. They were down to come out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And especially because when you look at the lineup, it's just black and brown.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, sprinkled white folks, but it's like not.
Yeah, but you gotta have a little pizzazz.
Yeah, but it was dope. But it was it was dope, man. But when people ask me like, "Yo, can I get some, you know, advice on my questions?" I'm like, "What are you trying to get out of it?" Some people say money.
Yeah.
Some people say, "I just want to put people on." People that want to do it for the money, I don't fuck with them.
Yeah, they're not gonna
go far. Yeah, because you're not gonna make money.
The money, especially the
beginning.
I
met you at a festival.
Yeah.
Right? I met you at a festival.
Yeah, the Harlem Comedy Festival.
Yeah, I was.
You were judging it.
I was judging it.
I found that a little weird, but being judged, by the way, I'm like, man, I always felt.
I mean, we don't have competitions. We just want everyone to be chill in our festival. You know what I mean? But to each his own. Everybody does what they do and blah blah blah, blah right?
You know what was cool about the Harlem Comedy Festival? You might not know this, but
I only went to like 2 or 3 shows.
The 2 funniest in the competition, who ended up being like the 2 funniest, which it's not being like not shitting on nobody else. It's just the truth. Was Rashad and I think myself. And
I didn't see anybody.
Yeah, but Rashad won it, you know, which he
won the whole thing?
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was like a whole thing.
Yeah, he's like deserved to win that. But me and him, we went to high school together.
What?
So we were doing in Harlem, not too far from here. So we went to both of us going to high school together, and now we're doing like the 1 and 2 spot. Yeah. Well, he's a couple of years ahead, but like being the funniest amongst a group, and we're fucking both from this.
But he remembered you?
Yeah. No, we know each other. Yeah.
From the beginning?
From the beginning, like.
Oh, that's dope.
At first, he didn't recognize me. I was like, "Yo, I went to school with you."
Yeah, what school was that?
Bread and Roses on 135th Street.
Bread and Roses.
Yeah, it's like an art school.
Oh, look at you, lucky.
But that shit only had 1 art class. It had literally and 1 music class. It was a garbage school.
Oh man, I wanted to go to an art school. I wanted to go to LaGuardia High School.
That's where I wanted to go too. I didn't get accepted though.
I got accepted.
So I went to this bullshit ass fake art school. I mean,
but still, it was an art school. I really wanted it.
Yeah.
And my parents were like, no. No, you want to learn acting? You're not gonna learn math? I'm like, I'm not even good at math.
I'm not good at math.
What am I gonna do? Be a fucking accountant?
Well,
no.
act like you like math.
It was hard, yo. Yeah. It was like, honestly, man, I wasn't good at anything. Like when it came to academic.
Yeah.
I mean, except for like creative writing.
Yeah. Yeah, which is like, yeah. I had that in me too.
But like science and fucking math, that shit all like, for what? What do I need that for?
I realized this about myself that and it's funny, like this year I'm trying to work on it. which is something I realized going
math?
back. No, not math, but like the way I looked at academics.
Yeah, I know.
I would go to school, so I got a Regents diploma.
Mm-hmm.
I did really good on my tests. I got 1280 on my SATs at the time. It just isn't too bad.
Yeah.
And then I failed almost every class.
You failed the class but passed the test.
Yeah. Why? Because I always felt like it was this weird personality thing in me that I only liked doing what I liked doing.
Yeah.
And I never, like, any project that they told me to do, like, I remember I did this project in 10th grade and in English, and it was basically speaking about Greek mythology, but they told us, come up with a way to teach others about Greek mythology. So I came up with Greekimon, which was like Greek Pokemon cards.
Jeez.
But with like Zeus and fucking.
But you see, you're creative.
Yeah, so I did all this, and then the project was fire. I made a Coliseum, and then you put out the cards. Zeus is lightning bolt, and like you had his bio in the background.
What?
And anyway, they started.
Did you get an A?
Yeah. And then my teacher, though, I remember her name was Elaine. My teacher goes to our group, and she was like, "This project is amazing, and I'm gonna teach everybody about this assignment now using this project, but Mario, I don't think I can give you like a score that I want to give everybody else because I don't think you did anything." And then everybody in the group was like, "No, he did everything." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "This is all my idea. I came up with all this shit."
Because you sucked in regular
Because I just didn't care about it. If she gave me, like, I remember one year, years later when I became an adult, I liked Dracula. But I remember her giving us that book. I was like, get this fucking bullshit out of here.
Yeah.
With hitherto and all these old words. I didn't care.
Yeah.
So it was like, anything and I realized is that in life, sometimes you got to do things you don't want to do. So you could do the things you want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm just learning that, like, in recent years. And I was
Isn't
like,
that some shit, man?
yeah. And it was like, I would have had, like, I think I would have went to college and had a good degree if I would have just realized that I gotta hustle and bustle, like, sometimes in fields that I don't really want to be in or things I want to do.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you'll grow in uncomfortable situations.
Yeah. And it's that, like I said, I'm just now like really going, oh, I gotta do things I don't like doing. It's like, which is also like in comedy why I led myself there, because it's like a rebel thing still almost. It's like, I'm gonna do when I want to go up. My fate is in my hands.
Right.
You know? And it's like,
but do you think that works for you right now? Like, are you where you are? Are you where you want to be in comedy?
No.
Despite the coronavirus
pandemic. Where I was going, but I also feel like I hold myself back sometimes.
Why?
Because of my personality. And I feel like certain things is kissing ass and I never do it.
Like what? Like networking? Because I know a lot of people hate networking.
I personally hate doing like shit like that. Like, if I feel like it's forced.
Yeah.
You know, if it's natural, totally fine. But anything forced is like.
So you don't like being in situations like after shows? You don't like talking to?
No, I do if it's natural. Mm-hmm. If we get along, but I also see people that like kind of like ladder climbers almost that are like a forced situation.
Like you see the difference between being cool and then like looking for some shit, right?
I don't think anybody I speak to knows me not being cool.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm never gonna go out my way. Hey, what's up, my name is? It's like, oh, what's going on, Mario? That was a good set.
I don't think you need to like kiss anybody's ass, but finesse.
Yeah.
There's a difference. There's a difference between I mean, look. At the end of the day, we all trying to eat.
Yeah. But you see, that's the thing where I'm learning. I got to do the things I don't want to do. That's what I'm learning about myself.
Yeah.
Is that sometimes I got to do that mingle. And I know I'm going to be good. And if the other person's weird, that's on them.
Yeah.
But it's just like, that's me getting over myself.
I've seen it. Like, even, Jessica will say, like, I'm a great networker.
Yeah.
I don't care. Even if I don't like the person, I'm always going to show respect.
Yeah.
Always. No matter what.
Yeah, me too.
No matter what. But I've gotten the opportunities that I've gotten because I spoke up.
Yeah.
And I was nice. There was nobody could ever tell you, I'm like, yo, she's a bitch. I just treat you how you treat me.
Yeah.
So, everybody has a different experience with me. But I think it's just super important. Part of the business is networking.
Yeah.
And not ass kissing, but finessing.
Yeah.
But finessing.
There is a difference there.
But also, it's also who you know. Always. Whether in a 9-to-5 job or comedy.
anything. Yeah, that's
who you know.
It's not really. It's like it's true. It's not what you know ever. It's like it sounds so cliche, but that shit is fucking facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
So like, right now we're like in this doom and gloom moment. You know, like I know it shifted a lot of goals for people and everything.
Absolutely.
Did it do it to you? Like how are you approaching this next year and like next 2 years of comedy, or like kind of your goals in the comedy and entertainment world?
I think it. I was thinking about it the other day, and I said, "Shit, I feel like I'm backed up 2 years."
Yeah.
But I try my best to look at it like I've changed a lot from when I started to now, as in a personal, mental, spiritual way.
Yeah.
Where I look at things now in a more positive way, not unrealistically and not toxic.
Yeah.
But it's more so like I've had this time off to rest, to survive, and write my one-woman show.
Yeah, nice.
That I've been writing for the past 2 years, and I just stopped.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's kind of how I've tackled things, too.
Yeah. And you know what? We don't have to be creative right now.
No.
What we need to be is safe.
Yeah.
And surviving, because all of this won't matter if we're not safe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you're right.
So, you know, it's just, I think we need to be a little bit more graceful and more kind to ourselves in this really dark time.
Yeah.
Easier said than done, and maybe even more cliche, right? But it's so true. I think this break is so necessary for so many people, not just comedians, but just in a personal level. Everyone's not doing shit.
Yeah.
This is the perfect time to just chill back, watch a Netflix series, write your one-woman show, write your play, write your movie.
Yeah.
Because when all this shit is done, which will be done,
then you got to jump back in to the fire. Yeah.
Execute. And keep those fucking, relationships.
Yeah.
That are going to help you get there.
Yeah.
You guys just got to think positive, man. Yeah, man, 6 months, 7 months past, or 7 months, 8 months?
Yeah, it's like going on 8.
Shit is almost going on a year soon. It happens so fast. And, I think it did extend the time that I wish. My goal for this year was to end up on TV. That's not going to happen. Maybe next year, maybe not. But you know what? I'm trying to live in the now.
Yeah.
Trying to live in the now. Yeah, trying to live in the now and finish this one-woman show. Because once we're able to be in the theater, I'm producing that shit.
Sick. I'm
producing that shit. And I'm bringing on people to direct it, to fucking do the lights, to do the filming, to do this. And, I think just keeping a positive mindset. I go to therapy.
Yeah. Mental health is wealth,
Man, if your mental health look, if we're not good mentally, we're not going to be good in any way.
No.
Can you
does
imagine?
Start with the mental.
Yeah. Can you imagine being depressed and getting on stage?
Yeah.
I've done it. I've done it. But people feel that energy.
Yeah, they do.
People feel that energy. There's this heaviness. I think a lot of comics struggle with depression and anxiety and, all these mental health issues. We don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And one thing that I was, talking to Jerry Waters about was that I'm growing as a woman. I'm growing as a human. So my material has to grow.
Yeah.
I can't be talking about these dudes that did me wrong.
Yeah.
I can't be talking about my family that, fucked me up. You know what I mean? I got to talk about something that matters.
The lens is shifted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this time, just writing about, my one-woman show, and also writing new material about shit that matters.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to just make people laugh and say, yo, she's just funny, but I want them to leave with something.
Yeah. Take you home with them.
Yeah. And I want them to say, like, yo, she was funny, but, I was thinking.
Yeah.
Something she said. And one of my projects that I'm working on is, not that it's a joke, but I'm very big on men's mental health.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of issues that I went through in, like, relationships had to do with a lot of men who had mental health issues.
And guys don't deal with it.
it. And I think it's very important as a woman to talk about my insecurities and say the truth. I have fucked up guys.
Yeah.
And my biggest goal in that project that I'm working on is to advocate for men's mental health.
Yeah.
Not just women, but just like it's so easy for a woman to say, I'm depressed. But for a man to say it.
Yeah.
If a man is not happy at home, there's a lot of issues there.
Yeah. Man up, motherfucker.
Yeah, you
crying?
can't say that. You can't say that. Oh my god.
Look at this sissy right here.
I could never. Can you imagine? Oh my god. I baby my dude. Like, and maybe I shouldn't. Maybe there's a lot of toxicity. I'm like, don't worry, your mom didn't love you. No, I'm just kidding.
It's okay to hug.
It's okay to hug. You know, it's like, and I'm just so self-aware.
You could cry outside the shower.
Exactly. I think I heard you crying. No, I didn't. No, but like, I just feel like, you know, I'm just so self-aware. Not as just a comic, but as, you know, as a human being, I'm very aware of people's feelings. I'm a huge empath. Yeah. I cry if someone cries, if someone dies and I don't know them, I cry because I feel for people. Yeah. And I think it has a lot to do with us probably not having that at one point. Yeah. So we try to be better at it. Yeah, and as comedians, it's an act of service. So we make people cry. We make people We make people laugh. Yeah. To make them feel better.
I'll say this about being empathetic. I think the downfall of the world is the lack of empathy for others.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think you see that right now. It's more than anything, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think this is the end of it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Before we start crying, I can't cry. You know, I gotta let you know that.
Sorry,
even though you'll be okay with it, but
well, I'll give you a hug. I'll pat you in the back, tell you it's okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yo, thank you for doing this, Shari.
I appreciate
Seriously.
you. Thank you so much.
This is awesome.
Thank
that
you.
was
Shout
Shari.
out to your producer.
Yo, Matt Watson. Holla. Yo, Shari Diaz, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening, y'all. Peace.
Bye. Whew. She almost got deep, kid.
I look for tellable stories that are physically tellable, and from a plot point of view, that which is at least pliable. You know what I mean,
yes,
don't you?
Yes, The question, really, I guess I'm trying to get at is...